Perfect. I don't usually going first with topics, but my topic was specifically tailored to this. So, Marriott has sent out surveys about their business cards on the American Express side. What would your ideal deBonvoying of Marriott look like? Or deBonvoying of Bonvoy look like? How would you redesign Bonvoy to somewhere you want to stay? Now, it doesn't have to be the cards, but how would you RJ, as someone who's hang up with Marriott's is not the properties, but it's Bonvoy, how would you deal so that you would want to go back to Bonvoy?
I would blow the entire thing up. Like, we're blowing it all up. You don't need 17,000 status levels. I'm sorry, my friends. You don't need as many status levels as you have. 3, 4 max. Come on now. Like, member, silver, gold, platinum, maybe do titanium still if you really are frisky. Like, 4 actual status tiers after member. Like, that's the maximum you need. You do not need super secret handshake, no, stop. You're not the CIA. You're not karate belt levels. Stop it. So that's the first thing. I would just simplify that because I think they have too many statuses. Like, the one thing, Hilton is really easy. Like, you've got silver, gold, diamond. Like, you have 3. It's really easy to know where you are. It's really easy to know what you have to do to move up and down. I understand why they would want a 4th because Marriott. Make cards people want to use and spend on. Make it more than 6x at your properties to use your cards. Yes, I know it includes my status, but I get 30x every time I stay at a Hilton. 30. I would tap out, I want to say at 18x with my status with any of the Marriott cards. Like, that's not great. Also, maybe some differentiation on the cards instead of just everything at 6x. Maybe a little differentiation so it makes you want to use your brilliant at a Marriott versus just having the $0 card at a Marriott. Perhaps that. Honestly, guys, Matt and I joked before Greg got on, just make it more like Hilton. And I say that like as a joke, but also not like Hilton. Part of the reason I was drawn to Hilton is the program is easy. You know what you're getting. You know what status levels mean. You know what the points multipliers mean. It is not overly complicated. Say what you want about point value. I don't care. Like, it is what it is. But like, the program itself is easy to understand, easy to use, and you understand where you are in it. The cards make sense. The Hilton Honors, the Surpass, and the Aspire, they all make sense. The business card makes sense. The credits and the uses of those cards, again, funny enough, make sense. Like, all you have to do is take the program, wipe it off the desk, and make a program that makes sense. Whether that looks like Hilton or whether it's something more like United or Delta. And the thing that I think that they honestly should do, which would piss off a lot of people, is put a much, much lower cap on the number of Bonvoy points you can send to an airline. I'm not even suggesting you change the conversion rate. Stay with the conversion rate you have, but you can send, the maximum you can send is 100,000 Marriott points a year to an airline. Because you know what that's going to do? That's going to make people actually either leave the program and then they can actually have the program matter, or they're going to start staying at Marriott's and use Marriott program that actually makes sense, like a Hilton program. Their ability to move points through the program makes their program worse for the hotel program. And I'm sorry, people who use this as a hack, but a hotel program should first and foremost be the best for that hotel and not for your airline travels. I'm sorry. This is just what I believe as a human being. If you don't like it, that's okay, because this isn't changing anytime soon. But to have the hotel program be the best for airline movement is bad for that hotel program. And if we're talking about rebuilding Bonvoy as a program, I have to prioritize that over your super secret hack that is killing Marriott Bonvoy. Because then, if they close that loophole, they could have cards with higher multipliers. They could offer certain things like a Hilton does or an IHG does. But they can't, because y'all are moving your Bonvoy points to airline miles. This is you. This is why this program sucks. It is you. So yeah, that's what I would do.
All right. To those who are ferrying your Marriott points, sorry. Also, like, we get it. But yes, the hotel actually being able to give you more value than moving your points without paying the Amex tax would be great. Craig, your thoughts here if you were going to de-Bonvoy Bonvoy.
Yeah, so I am in the last 2 years stayed at Bonvoy quite a bit, right? And first and foremost, what I'm doing is taking away franchising rights. Either, and when I say
Yes.
that, I don't mean your right to franchise the Bonvoy name. I mean your right to disavow and pick and choose what parts of the contract you do and don't want to adhere to. If I have spent 75 nights with you and I am a Marriott Titanium member, or 50 nights and I'm a Marriott Platinum, or I've spent 100 nights and $23,000 because I'm a Marriott ambassador, give me my god darn free breakfast. I don't care where we are. If you are serving free breakfast, give me that free breakfast. 4 p.m. late checkout, cool. I get it. Everybody can't get it, but rank it based on status. Ambassadors first, then titanium, then so on and so forth. But the fun fact, I was just in Napa, California, Napa Valley. There we go. And it was fantastic. We stayed at a really nice hotel, and then for one night we stayed at a Westin. That Westin did not give us free breakfast, and I was absolutely floored. Why? Because it's Westin. Every Westin gives you free breakfast. Not this one. You get $20 per person in the morning. So I got $40 off a $78 breakfast. And to RJ's point, you are a captive audience. Now, don't get me wrong, breakfast, fantastic. It's one of the best omelets I've ever had. But also, it's a $31 omelet. That is absolutely ridiculous. RJ, are you clenching your invincible pearls right now?
My pearls
Uh,
clutched.
the second item that I'm going to take, and I will truly say, I think that is going to move so much of the Marriott issues that we have. The second thing that I'm working on is customer service. When you call into the titanium line, I don't want to get somebody that says, "What you want?" Excuse you? That's not me being smart, but that's, excuse me, sir. Did you know that I've given you all like $15,000 this year? Could you like help me? So yeah, we're working through customer service. Our customer service reps are going to be knowledgeable. I hate to say this, but we are modeling the contract recognition and customer service items off of Hyatt and the Hilton Diamond line. I don't know if anyone has had to call into it, but the Hilton Diamond line is actually very helpful. And every single person that I've called into that line to do anything with, whether it is booking the FNC or if it is something else, just needing random information or questions, I've never talked to anybody on that Hilton Diamond line that is not knowledgeable of the program or of being able to figure out if they don't know what's happening, how to figure out how it's happening. So that is important to me. The next big thing, moving over to credit cards, for God's sake, let earning play into your ambassador number. I have $400 that I need to somehow make up in order to hit ambassador, but the next few flights or stays that I'm doing are through American Airlines portal. At the end of the year, I need to spend $400 with Marriott, either on room rate or dining, to hit ambassador for next year. It would be really nice that we say, similar to the Delta cards, if not $10, $5 because it's Marriott, but $10 on the Bonvoy Brilliant spend will get you $1, right? I had to spend 4 grand to get my $400. I am still a proponent of not spending money on Marriott cards, but if that's the case, it gives me a little bit more incentive because I know it works my way towards status. And then additionally, RJ mentioned this, we even though we are resetting this program, and when I'm talking about resetting it, I'm resetting the points value as well. Those points are going to be 1 cent. Bare minimum baseline, we're moving to the Wyndham value. We're not going to say that, oh, we're going to have high levels of value for points, but I think matching this up to Choice into Wyndham at roughly 1 cent per point is a viable thing to do. And even if we leave the card earnings the same, 1 cent per point is a very different thing. I'm going to also go an additional step beyond RJ. I'm completely removing the airline transfer. I, if we are removing the upping the value and we are saying that, hey, we want you to spend money on your Marriott cards. We want you to use these points for Marriott's. We are removing our cost to point transfers because free Bonvoy points, if you purchase those, it's about 7 cents without a sale. That is not the value that Delta is transferring those points over to. You are not getting the value of 3 Bonvoy points to 1 Delta point in that currency exchange. I am not privy to the contracts, but I just know that they are spending more money to purchase airline miles than we are willing to pay for Bonvoy points. I think that also helps to lower some of the inflationary numbers of Bonvoy points for people. And then additionally, I'm harping back. If you have a Bonvoy card or you have Bonvoy status, you're getting a discount for point redemptions. So that 1 cent per point, if you have Marriott Titanium status, you're essentially getting a 25% discount, or Titanium or Ambassador, you're getting a 25% discount on point redemptions. Like, so that 1 cent per point goes up to 1.25. Now you're matching up with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I think that is a fantastic value for Marriott point, considering that at that level you're earning essentially 24 points per point per dollar spent, right? That is some sizable cost savings. And for me, the only other major issue I have had with Bonvoy in this point, and I know people will say, I don't see how removing flexibility helps. It's a hotel program. I don't need it to have flexibility. I need my points to have value, and for me not to need to spend 86,000 points for one night at a Napa Valley West End, which really at best was like the equivalent of a nice DoubleTree, right? There are so many properties. Some of them are great, some of them are stinkers, but we just need to do a point value reset. And I think that removing the ability to have flexibility and putting all that back into the program is going to be helpful. And if it's not, because economics do weird things, then we move on, right? Like at a certain point, we just can't continue to allow Bonvoy to Bonvoy us. And I don't know what the community overall tolerance for it is, but when was the last time that we said Bonvoy did something good?
Been a minute.
It's been a minute, right? And I don't mean, oh, hey, they somewhat upped the median value of points with taking the value of their upper level properties up a little bit. No, that's just inflation. Properties got more expensive, so your points got a little tiny bit more value. I'm talking about genuinely, truly, when was the last time that Bonvoy made any positive change that you could look to and say, hey, that was good. Hilton needs to respond, or hey, that was good. I think that might be enough to move me over from being a globalist. Because that's the funny thing about it. Every Hyatt globalist could make any other program work. Not every person that travels with Bonvoy could make a Hyatt work. And I'm a prime example of that, where there are 2 Hyatts in Philadelphia, where one is in downtown Philly. Excuse me, there's 3. One is in downtown Philly. The other is also in downtown Philly, but it's $700 a night. And then there's one way out in the suburbs. I'm talking like an hour outside the city. Now you can still get there on public transit. King of Prussia. Like you can still get there on public transit, but like for my purposes as a business traveler, like that's an hour and a half away from a work site. That's 45 extra minutes I could take for a nap or sleep or not be up doing something. And trust me, like when you get in at midnight and you have to be up at 7 a.m., the difference between being up at 7 a.m. and being up at 5 a.m. is a huge, huge matter. So that's me.
So that $4,000 is what, a week and a half at the grocery store?
Now, what if if these changes on the business are correct, like the elite night per 5,000 spend, what if that 5,000 spend with the elite night actually counted toward the ambassador?
Depending on what the conversion rate is, it would be nice. I will be completely forthcoming and saying, for me personally, I have not, the biggest value bonus that I've gotten from being Marriott Titanium is United Silver. Like the 2 free check bags and the 1 upgrade that I got, that more than made up for it. But I am not getting so much out of Marriott Titanium and possibly Ambassador over Hilton Diamond or the now starting in March, but the Hyatt Globalist that I'm expecting, that I can justify saying that this is better.
That's fair. You definitely hit on a couple things that I was going to focus on, especially that whole your franchises have to have meaning. You cannot go to a JW Marriott. You cannot go to the Ritz-Carlton. You cannot go to the W. You cannot go to Westin isn't like one of their highest ends, but JW, Ritz, W. Let's just go with those 3. You walk into those, you have a certain expectation if you have status of what those properties should be giving you, that they can deny you basic things like, I don't know, breakfast if you're titanium. Like, that shouldn't happen. So there really needs to be more uniformity across the board. And like hotels, the hotel management groups that sign on to Bonvoy shouldn't have the ability and the freedom to just pick and choose what parts of the contract they're willing to observe. Now, this isn't just a Marriott problem. I'm going to tell you that right now. That this is a problem that affects Hyatt. This is a problem that affects Hilton. This is a problem that will likely affect Wyndham, because have you seen some La Quintas? Have you seen some Days Inn? Have you seen Days Inn? Just days in general, right? Same with, what is it, Super 8 or Motel 6? One of those two was in the Wyndham program as well. Folks, there's reasons you don't stay at those hotels. So
there's a reason that them have hourly rates.
That's a whole other thing. That's got nothing to do with Wyndham. That's got nothing to do with Hyatt. That is some politician level stuff right there. Anyway, not just politicians. And we're demonetized. There needs to be
we don't have inner show ads yet, Matt. It's fine.
Yeah. Regardless, like, if your status gives you a thing, the property management company that runs the hotel that you're staying at can't just opt out of that thing. Like, they have to abide by that. In Marriott, in Hyatt, in Hilton, in Wyndham, in Choice, and in any program, that is the expectation that you are agreeing to by joining the program and like spending your money and attaining that status. Like, you go to a Waldorf that's not going to observe your diamond status, you're calling Diamond, and Diamond's taking care of it. Right? Your ambassador line is going to have to call the hotel and maybe get it taken care of, but the hotel is still going to give you guff about it. Like, no guff. And that is a huge thing that needs to be DeBonvoyed first. Points on the cards. Yes, it would be greater. It would be great to reset the point value. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Getting around 1 cent per point would make Bonvoy more of a, oh yeah, I'd be willing to park my points over there. The median changing that frequent miler is shown, and there was one today for Hilton points that's showing the median for Hilton is now down to 0.41. Crazy. But regardless, like, if we're resetting the points, we should also reset the point structure on the cards. They're not competitive. They're not good. There's reasons not, like, nobody should be using their Bonvoy cards for spend unless you're spending specifically to get to ambassador through Marriott, or that's the only reason I can think, or you're working on a welcome offer for the card. Everything else, avoid. I guess the other one would be if you're using the business card to get the 7%, but you can find other ways to get that 7%. Like AAA exists. There's other programs. ARP exists. Like, you can get that savings through ARP. Get an ARP card. You can sign up as young as 35. You're good. You're gonna get your savings. Present your card at time of check-in, and you're good to go. The other things would be, I don't know that I would go as drastic to eliminate the airline transfer, but Marriott is pretty closely tied with United. Like, even if you just limited it to Star Alliance partners, to just Star Alliance Airlines, that would do a significant jump. That would be a significant jump in fixing the problem. Because your ability to go out to everyone, they do all three domestics. You can do AA, you can do Delta, you can do United. Like, they have a tight relationship with United. They should continue their tight relationship with United. They have a dining program like everyone else has a dining program. I would like to see them institute a shopping portal like some of the airlines have. That might help with point generation if you're not going to reset your points. Make point generation a little bit easier outside of your credit cards, because they're terrible. Aside from Bonvoy Eat Around Town, like, a Bonvoy shopping portal option wouldn't be the worst thing, because then I could at least stack my points that way and keep growing Bonvoy points. Hell, create your own portal, your own travel portal. You're the largest hotel brand one of the largest hotel brands in the world. Like, you could be the one-stop shop for everybody to book their air trip and their hotel with you and a rental car. They could do that.
Do any of the hotels have a portal the way the airlines have a portal?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't think so.
No.
Because it is interesting. You can go to Delta or United or AA and be like, I'd like a hotel, please. But you can't go to Hilton or Marriott or whatever and be like, give me a plane.
Yeah, I think
you can technically book them through stays and bundles, but that's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. there are some mechanics to do it on their websites, but it's not the same as bonvoytravel.com. So launching a portal wouldn't be the worst thing. And if you spend enough through that, maybe that's a shortcut to get elevated status or bump up your status that way. Like you're booking your hotel stay, you're booking your airline, and you're booking everything through Bonvoy. Like maybe spend through that could bump your status. Status does have to mean something. I have a feeling that status is going to get degraded soon, where if Hilton's guaranteed late checkout payments, if that's a real thing, like that's a thing that's giving them good revenue, Marriott's going to be the first to jump on it.
Yeah.
So Titanium's key feature is probably not long for this world in a quarter or two. So you're going to have to find a way to make Titanium better. But yeah, a point reset would be great. Limiting your transfers to Star Alliance would be at least a half measure that I can come up between Craig completely eliminating it and RJ on the verge of eliminating it. Like, I'll throw a bone to you guys. It's not, I'm sorry, Spaceco. That bone's not getting your way, but I'm trying to be somewhat reasonable here. I do think the points value on the cards should be fixed. I'm sorry, the point earning on the cards should be fixed. But that's going to go hand in hand with the point value. If they get to 1.1, 1.25, that would be significant for them. And then your stays look a little bit easier. And then you have a reason to transfer your points over. I don't know what they're going to do with American Express in 9 years when they fully go over to American Express. They are going to eventually go fully over to American Express, but that contract is not until the end of until some point in 2034. So they've got runway. But man, just redoing Bonvoy as a whole would be fantastic for everyone.
Truly.
Yeah. Because Marriott can have a median point value of 0.41, but like Diamond and Gold still give you such great benefits over what you can get on equivalent levels with Marriott that people are willing to put up with that pain. And the fact that you can buy Hilton points for half a penny a point. Like, Hilton folks will put up with a lot of pain from Hilton because they're still getting value. The same as not
And
necessarily.
consistency.
Yes.
I've never had a problem with Hilton as far as points for hotel stays. If I can find enough $40,000 or 40,000 point or night rooms that work for me, that I don't care. I mean, I don't care in general, but I super don't care. Fight over cent per point all you want. I don't care.
No, that's completely fair. So thanks, y'all.